Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn English Standard 9, lesson number 4.3. The lesson's name is Intellectual Rubbish. So first we are going to understand what is the meaning of intellectual rubbish. So first word is given intellectual. Now what is the meaning of intellectual? Intellectual means educated people who has education very well. Those people are called intellectual people. In short, we can say educated people. Now second word is rubbish. Rubbish means unimportant beliefs. Unimportant beliefs means sometimes we talk something unimportant, means which has no meaning. It no use of that word of or that sentence, that is called unimportant beliefs. Rubbish means unimportant beliefs. Now firstly we are going to start the lesson. So here the lesson starts, intellectual rubbish. So first we are going to read it. To avoid the various foolish opinions to which mankind are prone. So here the word is given prone, and that means tendency. Okay, the tendency. No superhuman genius is required. A few simple rules will keep you not from all errors but from silly error. Here the narrator, the storyteller, is saying to avoid various foolish opinions to which mankind is prone. Means in this world there are no super genius men required. If you understand few rules of the life, only few, not a silly errors, but a few rules of life. If the matter is one that can be settled by the observation, make the observation yourself. Aristotle could have avoided the mistake of thinking that women have fewer teeth than men by the simple device of asking Mr. Aristotle to keep her mouth open while he counted. So here the Mr. Aristotle, the person, the narrator has presented Aristotle, and he is doing some fully kinds of thing. So here he is explaining something about, here he is saying that the woman has more fewer, means man has more teeth and woman has less teeth, but that is not real. That is not real, because both are human being, and they both are having a same kind of teeth. So it is a foolish thing. He did not do so because he thought he knew. Thinking that you know when in fact you don't is a fatal mistake. Now here the word is giving fatal. Fatal means disround. To which we are prone. I believe myself the hedgehogs eat black beetles. Now, what are hedgehogs? Hedgehogs means a small kind of porcupine, like animal only, and black beetle is a kind of insect. So, my here the Aristotle is thinking that you know when I in fact you don't is a fatal mistake, to which we are to all prone. I believe myself that hedgehogs eat black beetles because I have been told they do. But if I were writing a book on the habits of hedgehog, I should not commit myself until I had seen one enjoying its unappetizing diet. Aristotle, however, was less continuous. Here the Aristotle is doing a few kind of funny things, and he is speaking few funny words. Okay, and here the first question answer is also it's given. The question in the exercise is, What mistake could Aristotle have avoided? Here in the first paragraph the answer is given. Now next paragraph. Many matters however are less easily brought to the test of experience. If like most of mankind you have passionate conviction of many such matters, they are ways in which you can make yourself aware of your own biases. Now here the word is given conviction means firm belief, that means firm beliefs, and the word is given biases, that means partial. Okay, now here is given there are ways in which you can make yourself aware of your own biases. If an option contrary to your own makes you angry, that is a sign that you are subconsciously aware of having no good reasons for thinking as you do. If someone maintains that 2 and 2 are 5, or that Iceland is not on the equator, you will feel pity rather than anger. Now here the Aristotle is saying, if here the again fully thing is explained by him, that 2 or 2, if someone is saying that 2 or 2 are 5, if you get angry and the Iceland on the equator, you will feel pity rather than anger, means you will think that is something funny he is saying, unless you know so little on country conviction. The most savage controversies of are those about matters as to which there is no good evidence either way. So whenever you find yourself getting angry about difference of opinion, be on your guard, and you will probably find examination that you believe is going to beyond what your evidence warrants. Now here the saying, if someone is saying the foolish thing to you, then you do not be angry. Okay, here he is make us understand that if someone is saying foolish rubbish things to you, so that time you cannot be angry, you have to be calm down, you have to be your own guard. And that time your belief is going beyond what you evidence or warrants. Okay, you have to believe in yourself that you and you do not angry, means you be calm, relax at that time and think about what he is saying. Now next is a good way of ridding yourself of certain kinds of dogmatism. It's to become aware of option held in social critical difference from your own. Now here now the meaning is saying dogmatism. Dogmatism means insisting one opinion without evidence, means is we have to instant that the one's opinions without any evidence is not there. Now when I was young, I lived much outside my own country, in France, Germany, Italy, and the United States. I found this very profitable. I am diminishing the intensity of insular prejudice. Now what is the meaning of insular? Insurance means ignorance of other thing outside one's opinion. Insurance means ignorance, short we can say. If you cannot travel, seek out people with whom you disagree and read a newspaper and the newspaper seem mad. Preverse the weak, remind yourself that seems so to them, and this opinion both parties may be right, but they cannot both be wrong. This reflection should generate a certain questions. Okay, now here again the Aristotle is explaining something, that if you traveling, seek out with people whom you disagree and read a newspaper belonging to say party that is not yours, that the newspaper is not yours. If people and the newspaper are seem mad, okay, that is a fully thing. Again here he has explained, becoming aware of foreign customs, however, does not always have a beneficial effect. In the 17th century, when the uh, Mongols conquered China, it was a custom among the Chinese for the woman to have small feet, and among the Mongols for the men to wear pigtails. Instead of each dropping their own foolish custom, they each adopted to foolish custom of other, and the Chinese continued of water pigtails, and until they shock of the dominion of the Manchus in the revolution of 1911. Okay, now here the word is given dominion and the word is giving pigtails. Pigtails means a pile of the buried hair, and dominions mean control. Okay, the meanings are here given, and the next paragraph says, those who have enough psychological imagination. Here the psychological imagination is going to explain over here. It is good to plan, to imagine an argument with a person having a different base. This has one conversation with opponents. This one advantage is the method is not subject to the same imitation of the time and space. Mahatma Gandhi deplored railways and steamboats of machinery. He would have liked to undo the whole of the industrial revolution. You may never have an opportunity of actually meeting anyone who holds the opinion because of Western countries. Most people take the advantage of modern technique for granted. But if you want to make sure that you are right of agreeing with the prevailing opinion, you will find it a good plan to test the arguments that occur to you by considering what Gandhi might have said, reflection of them. I have sometimes been led actually to change my mind as a result of this kind of imaginary dialogue, and short of this I have frequently found myself growing less dogmatic of cocksure through releasing the possible reason balance of hypothetical opponent. Now here few meanings are given. Insolence means disconnect of ideas of foreign countries. Previous means stubbornly opposed to, and reflection that which is disapproves. Hypothetical based on assumptions. Be very opinions. Be very opinions that fetter yourself Eastern, both men and women, 9 times out of 10, the firmly convinced of a superior excellence of their own sex. There is abundant evidence on both sides. If you are a man, you can point out that most poets, men of science, are made. If you are woman, that cannot retort that you are so criminals, and the question is inherently enhouseable, but self-esteem counsels thus form most people. The word is given. Fettler means honor. Insoluble means incapable. By being solved, make sentence using. Okay. And now the second is saying we are all whatever part of the world. We come from pressured that your own nation is superior to all others, seeing that each nation has its characteristics, merits and demerits. We adjust our standards of value so as to make out that the merits processed by our nation are really important ones, while its demerits are comparatively trivial. Okay, here the story's part 1 is completed. Okay, in this story Aristotle has been explained a few kind of foolish things, and means a few stories, we can say a few chapters he has explained, and in this paragraph only all the questions answers are also given. Okay, and the Aristotle is explaining one chapter in each paragraph, that the foolish imaginary is a different kind of thing which everyone has, okay, to make other people happy sometimes, and to having their own behavior, as we can say, and own habits also. So this kind of different things he is imagining and making a self. Okay, now here stories part 1 is over. Now here from this paragraph stories part 2 is going to start. In the part 2, Aristotle is saying we are all whatever part of the world we come from. Here again, the rational male will be admit that the question is one which there is no demonstrably right answer. Now, what is the meaning of demonstrably? Demonstrably means probably. Okay, and now here is saying is one which are there is a demonstrably right answer. It is a more difficult to deal with the self-esteem of man as man, because we cannot argue out the matter with some non-human mind. The only way I know of dealing with this general human consent means it is not remind ourselves that man is brief episode in the life of a small planet in the little corner, the one universe, and on the august now we know. Okay, now august means anything. Here the meaning of august, anything we know, we can say other parts of the cosmos. Now what is the meaning of cosmos? Cosmos means everything that exists anywhere universe, may contain beings of superiors to ourselves as we are to jellyfish. Okay, here again the imagination is giving the full human and non-human things are given self-esteem, he explained over here, and few the universe he's imagining about universe, and that of august we know, anything we know, the parts of cosmos may contain beings as superiors ourselves as we are to jellyfish. Okay, and now next paragraph it is given. These other passions besides self-esteem are common sources of error. Of this, perhaps the most important is fear. Fear sometimes operates directly by inventing rumors of disasters in wartime or by imagining objects of terrors. Now here the Aristotle is explaining by uh, for the fear means what is the fear means it when it comes, okay, it comes when the rumors means यहाँ वहाँ की बातें we can say it's spread by the rumors like nowadays corona is spreading someone sometimes we heard the rumors also, so we are having fear of that means we are getting afraid of it. Okay, and sometimes in the wartime now we can say nowadays India and China's war is preparing, they are preparing for war, so that kind of fear also we have in our heart, or by imagining the objects of terror. Okay, the imagining the object of terrors means we can give an example of Pakistan. Okay, the terror is also there, such as ghost also, sometimes we afraid of ghost also, sometimes the operates of indirectly creating belief in something comforting such as excelsior of life. Now here the word is given excelsior means substance believed to cure all ills. Okay, fear has many forms means fear has many forms: fear of death, fear of the dark, fear of the unknown, and that work generalized fear it comes those who consult with the themselves means अगर आप अपने आप से ही डर गए so it makes a fears. There are more specific terrors until you have admitted your own fears to yourself and have guarded yourself by difficult efforts of will against by the math making power you cannot hope to think. Now again here truly about many matters of great importance, especially those with which religious beliefs are concerned, fear its main source of suppression. Now, and one of the main source of cruelty the conquer fear is the beginning of wisdom in the prescient in the prescient of truth as the endeavor after the worthy manner of life. Now here the meaning the word is given here, endeavor means try hard to achieve something. The meaning of endeavor means try hard to achieve something. Now, there are two ways of avoiding fear. Now, Aristotle is now first he explains what are the fevers, what kind of fevers, what are the types. Now here there are how to avoid the fear that is also he is giving. There are two ways of avoiding fear. Now what he is saying, let's see. One is by pressuring ourselves that we are immune from the disaster, and other by the practice of sheer courage. The latter is difficult and everybody becomes a possible at a certain point. The former has therefore always been a more popular. Primitive magic has a purpose of securing safety, either by the injuring enemies by the protecting ourselves, talismans, spells of incorrection without any essential changes. Now here he is saying that before means in old times magic, some kind of people were doing kala jadoo, that kind of things are there means किसी को something having a fever and means they were spell some magical words means not mantra and all which we are using for puja. Some kind of bad mantras they are using to destroy, to make, to give harm, to harm other people. That kind of mantras is called talismans. They spells talisman. Now, without any essential changes, belief is in such ways of avoiding dangers survived throughout the many countries of civilization. Now the science is getting more and more developed. Now those kind of things are getting over. Now civilization has stand and science is getting developed. Science has now lessened the beliefs in magic, but many people place more faith in Moscows, and then they are willing to avow. Neither a man nor a crowd nor a nation can be trusted to act humanly or to think keenly under influence or a get fear. And for the reason patrons are more prone to cruelty than the believed men, and are also more prone to separation. Now means this kind of extraordinary people, those who are doing this kind of things. But nowadays the science is getting more and more developing, so now these things are getting over. Now the people, those who are means few kind of people are there who are doing all these things, but now the generation is changed. Now no, this kind of things are in the world. Okay, but we have been getting to Solomon. Superstition are not always dark and cruel. Often they add to the gently of life. I received once communication from the good Oasis, giving me his telephone number. He lived at the time in a suburb of Boston. Boston means a country area, which is means a area which is out of the country. Although I did not enroll myself among his worst people, he later gave me pleasure. I have frequently received letters from men announcing themselves to Masiha and arguing me not to maintain this important fact in my lectures. I admire especially a certain props who lives beside a lake in northern New York State about the year 1820. She announced to her numerous followers that she possessed the power of walking on water, and that she proposed to so that 11 o'clock on a certain morning at the started time, the faithful assembled in their thousands beside the lake, and she spoke to them, saying, "Are you all entirely persuaded I am, and that I can walk on water?" With one voice they replied, "We are in the case." She announced, "There is no need for me to do so." And they all went home much edified. Perhaps the world would lose some of its interest. The variety of such beliefs we wholly replaced by cold science. A wise man will enjoy the goods of which there is a plentiful supplies, and intellectual rubbish he will find an abundant diet in our own age is a very other. Okay, now here the story ends, and in this story the Aristotle has been explained the kind of things, means how the world is. There are many people like the lady who can walk in the water. There are people who is having their own imaginary things. There are people who can do the naptol, and they can think that the man is different and woman is different, and they have their own imagination. This kind of things all Aristotle has been explained in this story. The story gets over here, and few questions means all exercises question and answer are given in the paragraph, so you can note it down. Exercises questions are given in the paragraph only, so you can read the paragraph and write down the answers also. Thank you.